we should be looking at strategies in which we hit the ground running. So many people make New Year's resolutions, and here's the thing, Stacey, they start them on January 1st. Now, I'm not going to tell you the statistics and the studies that say most of the time, most of those resolutions never make it out of the end of the month. But what I'm suggesting is instead of waiting till the first to think about what you're going to change or do different, let's make that commitment right now, so that as we move into the new year, we already have volume and velocity. So that's going to be what I share is, let's start building next year right now.
I love it. I love it. But Dr. West, as I talk to so many people that are an in-between point in their life, they know they want more. They can feel it inside. They're like, oh, when I get on the call and I hear Les Brown, or I hear Dr. Ruben West, or I hear Anita Hicks, or I hear Wade Randolph, or I hear Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant, I'm fired up and ready to go. But then Tuesday comes, and the fire starts to dwindle, and they're not feeling as confident. They're not feeling as if they can really push forward to the next level. I've been just sitting with that and saying, what makes us really go the extra mile? What allows us to stretch ourselves? How will we cut from a different cloth? Because it's not that the information is so different than what some people have heard before, but some people react differently to taking action. Have you experienced that? And what is your thoughts around those who do and those who don't?
Yeah, so absolutely some people act differently to taking action. Here's what I've discovered, Stacey. We got to get that our past has positioned us in a certain way. There's things that we discover in life, and once we have these, what I call breakthrough discoveries, it allows us to see life completely different. So let me just break this down for you. Everybody on the call probably has an experience with either riding a bike or teaching someone to ride a bike or watching someone learn how to ride a bike, or a combination of all three. And what you have to get is, before the moment when you can ride a bike, you can't ride it. It doesn't matter how many books you read. It doesn't matter what someone says to you. When you get on it, you can't ride it. But there is one moment when you get gravity. It creates a new beginning for you. It creates a new possibility for you, because now you get gravity and there's nothing to do. You're just on it and you start going. Breakthroughs in life come just like that. There's things that we don't know, just like and I'm not sorry, I said gravity, I meant balance. They get balance. And once they get balance, it creates new opportunities for them in their lives. Breakthroughs in life happen just like that. Most of us are operating with things in our background from our past that are positioning us in a certain way. And so we get to a point where we're stuck. Like you said, it's fired up on Monday, we're stuck on Tuesday. It's like if you have a generator, you see the generator puts out a lot of energy, but you can hear the generator humming. You can hear all the energy going. But unless you have something that you can plug into that generator, you can't transfer the energy from that source to another source. And so what I really realized, Stacey, is a lot of people experience this from the periphery. That you talk about the Destiny Designers University, and you hear Ray Randolph talking about what he has to offer and how he can help people and all these different things. And people know that they work, they hear the excitement, they get full of energy, but because they don't plug into one of the energy sources, by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's gone. And so what I suggest is it's not enough to just hear about it. You have to plug into it. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times you drive by the university. Until you start taking classes, you never get the information. And so they have to understand that we study full because we understand that we have people who are counting on us, who need our accountability to help them reach the next level in their lives. So my suggestion to them is, don't do it the same way you've done it before. Do it differently. Team up with one of us. And it doesn't have to be me. I'm not the end-all, be-all, but it has to be somebody, because there's strength in numbers, and you can draw from their collective energy.
Absolutely. You know, I love that point, so many different points that you just made, but the one I want to hone in on is about the power when you join together and the ability to invest in yourself. There's so many times we get on the call and we share where Mr. Brown is going to be live, where he's doing training, and to get access to Mr. Brown is a privilege. It's an honor. And I know you remember the first time you made the investment. I remember the first time I made the investment to actually see him live, and it changed my life because that was the thing that I was looking for. I knew that I had been building my voice, I'd been building my company, but then there's a point where you're growing to another level, where you're being elevated. And in order to get to that elevation, you have to make a shift. You have to do something drastically different. And when you're able to understand that power in not only investing in yourself, but investing in an opportunity that will allow you to collaborate with more genius minds, that's what happened with us. The ability to be able to invest in working with Les has now, years later, led me to being able to run part of this program and to be here on the call and to travel the world with him, and then to meet people like you, to meet people like Wade, to meet people like Anita, that we can strategize and work together on how we can bring a collective voice to the universe, because you can't do this thing called life alone. It's about collaborative, achievement-driven relationships. That's what Les Brown teaches us day in and day out. And he said at this time, in this space, Ruben, with technology the way it is, we can do so much more faster than what he did in years before, where he had to hit the pavement and to make conversations with individuals that would be able to hire him, that he didn't have the glossy brochures. It was getting on the phone, calling and calling and calling and calling and showing up and meeting and making an impression. Now with the advent of technology and social media, you can shorten that so quickly. People can know, like, and trust you within a smaller space of time. So what excuse do we have to step forth and live the things that we've been given? What excuse do we have to step forth and finish 2015 strong? What excuse do we have to wait for our story to be perfect or our business plan to be soup to nuts, completely done, or the investors to show up knocking at our door? At this time, in this space, for such a time as this, everybody on this call that is attracted to the voice of Les Brown, that follows his work, that listens to his teaching, now is the time to expand and do something drastically different so that you can get the results that you know belong to you. And when you said that, Ruben, that's what fired up inside of me, that I know the power in taking the next step. I shared last week about the young lady that found out Les Brown was going to be in London the day before the event, jumped on a bus and commuted for 8 hours by herself so that she could have the chance for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet the mentor in her mind, the friend in her mind, the person whose voice had impacted her to the point that she was able to learn English by listening to Mr. Brown over and over and over again. And I am just excited because, Ruben, I know that there's some people on the call tonight who have found out where Mr. Brown is going to be before 2015 closes down, that they realize he's going to be in Topeka, Kansas, live with yourself, myself, Roland Manny, and it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, that he's going to be in Los Angeles, California with the First Family of Motivation. His children will be joining him for a special training on November 20th. And the people that invest in that opportunity to either meet him in LA or to meet him in Kansas will be forever changed, because now you'll be able to check off of your bucket list the thing that you've been waiting to do, the opportunity to meet the master, the opportunity to be in the space with collective minds that are focused on making a difference here on this planet. But Ruben, my heart is also heavy because I know that excuses sneak up in the best of us. And I'm working on what the antidote to excuses is. And when I find that, I promise you I'll be a billionaire. But you have any ideas tonight?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. See, here's what I've discovered, Stacey. Check this out. You can live so long in the wrong condition. And when I say the wrong condition, pick one. I mean, let's think about all the wrong conditions. The one wrong condition is that you know you have an idea and you have no way to bring it out of you. You don't have yourself surrounded with the right people to help you manifest that idea. The wrong condition could be that you know you deserve more in your business or your professional life, but there's something that you need to take your life to the next level and you're not doing it. The wrong condition would be, hey, you know that you need to start getting up and change your eating habits or change your working habits, but for some reason there's something that you're doing that won't let you do it. And so here's what I want to suggest, that sometimes you can live so long in the wrong condition that you conclude that there's something right with what's wrong. And so, you see what I'm saying? You can live so long in the wrong condition that sometimes you can conclude that there's something right in what's wrong. And so, and what do we call that? The comfort zone. And that's all it is that you concluded that there's something right with everything that's wrong. And so it doesn't move you. I've said before that some people would rather live in known hell than explore unknown heaven.
Wow.
And so what do? Here's the answer. Because the universe rewards those who take action differently than those who don't. Listen, this is what's funny. And Stacey, you talked about, do I remember when I met Les Brown? Absolutely, I remember when I met Les Brown. But that's not the point. How many times do we still go see him again and again and again? Even if we're not speaking, we just go to be in his presence. You know why? Because there's greatness in the present. Because he brings together people who are attracted to doing great things. And so a lot of times you've known and I know that when we get together in the place where Les Brown is, even though we connect with Les Brown, there's other people in the place that helps us take our business and our minds to a higher space. So it's not just Les Brown. Excellence attracts excellence. And so here's what we know. We know that we're in the right place. The question is, will we do the right thing? See, when you step out on the opportunity to go participate, the universe rewards that. Not only that, you're changing your mindset to the person that deserves a breakthrough. See, when you step out on your own to get the breakthrough, you're telling yourself you deserve a breakthrough. When you take the time to sacrifice to go to a training like they're having in LA or to come to an event like we're going to be at, you're telling yourself you deserve this. And what happens is you start looking for different things. You know how I know? Because I've taken trips where I've sat in first class. And when I sit in first class, I know that I deserve certain things. There's certain things that come with first class. And so I start to expect those things. When you step out and go to these events live, what you're doing is you're telling your mind, you're telling your spirit, you're telling your angels, hey, look, I'm stepping out on faith. I believe there's more for me out there. I want it, and by my actions, I deserve it, right? Because what you really want shows up in your actions, not your words. And when you do that, because you've done it, you start to expect things to show up differently. And so those people who are coming to this one of these events, especially the one in Topeka, Kansas, what I know is they're expecting something different. And here's what happens. You usually find what you're looking for. You know, look how it's changed our life. You know, people say, well, how does it change your life? Too many ways to name. I mean, I connect with you. I just had a speaking event in Chicago on Thursday, Chicago on Friday, and Champaign on Saturday. It was amazing. You've just been in Maryland with the Playtime is Over conference where you were the mistress of ceremony for Cheryl Wood. It was amazing. I watched it online because I couldn't be there because I had my own event. Like, we take the time to not just go once, but go again and again and again, because we understand the power of that intention when we show up for ourselves. And so, yeah, I think it's the fact that you step out there, it makes a difference not only to the people who've seen you, but it makes a difference how you see yourself.
And I love that. I love that last line, the difference in how you see yourself. And I'm excited for our listeners. I'm excited for our new listeners because they've connected with Mr. Brown and they understand the power of this platform. They understand the power in the written word in his books, in his words in the video, in seeing him at various events, but investing the opportunity to meet him in person is priceless. You know, like those American Express card commercials that they use, and they give all the examples. But meeting and working with him is absolutely priceless. But it speaks to something greater, because my prayer, my desire for every voice, every household that's tuned in tonight, for everyone that comes every single week, is that there's a new level of abundance, that there's a new breakthrough in your life, that there's new opportunities that you are able to manifest as a result of the information that you've received on this call from Mr. Brown, from myself, from Dr. West, from Wade Randolph, from Anita Hicks, from everyone like Pleasure who's been on and training. That it's not just a feel-good moment. That Monday night I'm going to get my good motivational fix, and then no action happens. It's about taking the information, implementing the information, and showing us the results, that we can be a part of your cheering squad, that we can be a part of your support team, that we can remind you of the very thing that you know inside of you, that you walk in your divine calling, that you understand the destiny that awaits you, and that you liberate yourself so that other people can do the same. And I'm going to share 2 quick stories with you, and then, you know what, I'm feeling led to open up the line if there are 1 or 2 of you that have a question tonight before we close out the call. The first story, it was just hearing an interview with Andre Walker. Some of you might recognize the name. He has been Oprah Winfrey's hairstylist for over 30 years. So she is helping him launch his own hair care line, and by the way of help, is giving him the international exposure that only she can. And in an interview, she was recalling when they met or how they started working together. Now watch this. Some of you are sitting, you're listening right now, and you have some ideas, you have some goals, there's some things you want. You want to speak, you want to use your voice, you want to create products, you want to open up businesses. Now watch this. Andre was a blossoming stylist. He's not the Andre Walker he was when he first met her. And when she came to Chicago, he was watching the show, and he would tune in on a daily basis to just see her. And he was looking at her hair, and he said some days her hair looked great, and then other days it didn't look so good. And he decided that he was going to write her a note. Simple as that, just write her a note. And in that note he put, "I would love to do your hair." Imagine, a note has taken him all over this globe, traveling with Oprah Winfrey as her hairstylist. Who knew? See, he didn't know the path that was laid for him. He didn't know what was next in his life, but he took a step. He took a drastic step. He did something different. He wasn't just sitting back saying, wow, I'm a good stylist. I know if she had me, her hair would look excellent every day. He did something about it. How many other stylists might have been watching Oprah Winfrey in Chicago when she first came out, but all they did was just talk about her hair or talk about what they could have done, but they didn't take action. He took action. He wrote a note, and his life has never been the same. Not only has he been able to create a relationship and a friendship, he's seen more behind the scenes probably than Stedman. He's been able to be there step by step to watch how her career has transitioned to a mogul billionaire status. And now he is taking what he's learned, he's taken the exposure and turning it into creating his own legacy, his own product line with her blessing. When I saw that, Ruben, I said, wow, a note, taking action caused his life to be decidedly different than it was then. Who's ready to take action now? Like, it's not time to play. If this is your time, you just mentioned I was at the Playtime is Over conference with Cheryl Wood, and I was honored to be asked back as her celebrity guest host for the 2nd year in a row. And to see the people in the audience, the women particularly, saying they've had enough. They're not waiting for validation. They're not waiting for somebody else to tell them it's all right to live their dreams, that the playtime is over, that they're ready to start now. And here's what I shared with them, and I'm going to share it with you. I was reading one of my devotionals, and for those who have a faith-based belief and believe in God, it said, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. I'm going to repeat that again. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So if that's something that you can relate to, that resonates with you, then you understand the power in that you don't have to be perfect. I say it over and over again, but you have to get started in order to perfect what you have. You have to get started on your goals and your dreams. If Les Brown is the person that you say you admire, the person that inspires you, the person that you want to learn from, the person who has changed your life, when the opportunity presents itself, seize it. Don't wait for another convenient time, because if life was convenient, we'd all be rich, slim, and living on an island by ourselves in Maui. But the truth is that we're going through life in our imperfections, working it out towards our perfection, and doing the things that we want to leave a legacy on this planet. And Mr. Brown is allowing a platform, allowing a space, an opportunity for you to grow, for you to expand your consciousness, for you to stretch your mind, for you to associate with individuals that can push you and allow you to blossom into a new level of success. And if that's you, if that's where you are, no more talking, no more just feeling assistant. And she said, do you think I could talk to Dr. Stacy? And my assistant mentioned that, of course, with the schedule, I'm on the microphone all day, 2 days straight. She said, I'll make sure that we can figure out some time. She said, well, thank you so much. I'm going to give you my business card. And my sister Cassandra said, business card? She's looking at this teenager like, is she really pulling out a business card on me? And she pulled out the card and she said, yes, I want to be Dr. Grant's stylist. So my sister Ruben is thinking this is the cutest thing, that this 13-year-old has a business and wants to talk to me. And I met her briefly in a small little break, and she shook my hand and she told me the name of her company, and she said, I'm just so excited to talk to you, and I would love for us to have a conversation. Now, Ruben, I'm like, I'm talking to a teenager, and she's addressing me like she's a corporate exec. Right. And I was like, what is going on in America? I said, well, baby, I'm going to interview you later because you are fabulous. Do you know she waited until the crowd died down? People were trying to shake my hand, talk to me, connect, and she waited patiently. She said, do you think I can get my interview today? And my sister Cassandra was like, your interview? She said, yes, ma'am. I would like my interview today if possible. She said, well, she's going to interview you on Periscope and just let the world see what you're doing. She was like, I'm ready to interview for the job. I said, well, 13 years old. And you know what? I did an interview with her on Periscope, and I'm actually going to share it out because I'm still so moved by it, that she was so focused in her thoughts. She said her mom told her that she couldn't just sit around eating potato chips and relaxing after school. She needed to think about what she wanted to do. And I said, well, then what did you do next? She said, well, I asked God, what would he have me do? Well, I was done at that point. You could have poked the fork in me, turned me over, flipped me over. I said, 13 years old. You're sitting there focused of knowing where to go for direction and then executing what you receive, starting your business, creating your business card, and approaching the people that you want to help. And I said, well, sweetheart, I'm in New York and you're in Maryland. She said, well, Dr. Stacy, I can fly. I said, well, baby, you are hired. How about that? She was so excited. She said, well, I can't wait to get started. And I said, well, okay, you know what, sweetheart? I'm traveling a lot. There's a lot going on in this fourth quarter. So just give me a minute to get settled so we can create a budget. We can create a plan. She said, oh, don't worry, Dr. Stacy. Let God work on you, and then he'll work on us. That's when you could have rolled me out of the ballroom.
Wow.
13 years old. 13 years old and focused and ready. She seized the opportunity. She took a chance. She didn't know what the response was going to be, but she understood that playtime is over. She understood that this fourth quarter is about setting herself up, preparing her clientele for 2016. And I left so touched and inspired and energized for the work that we do, that if a 13-year-old, from the mouth of babes, if a 13-year-old can get it, I said to myself, Lord, what took me so long to understand and get it? But I hope that our listeners tonight, I hope that our family here understands our passion behind their success, our passion behind being here to cheer you on to action, cheer you on to turn, as I say in Destiny Designers University, turning inspiration into results. So with that, do you have a word to say, or I'm gonna open up the line? I'm feeling like somebody wants to say something and just share where they are. It's 8:35, and normally we're closing down. But as you can tell, I'm a little excited, and I can't wait.
I can hear it in your voice. And you know what I love about the young lady and the gentleman that you talked about, the hairstylist, is not about saying what you do. It's about doing what you say. See, there's so many people who say they want to go to the next level, then you have to do something to take you there. So I'm excited about that. Matter of fact, let's open up the lines for a few minutes, and then I have something special for the people who are on the line right now, but I'm going to say it till the end. Go ahead and open up the line, Stacey. Let's talk to a few people.
Okay, well, before we do that, let me just give you two pieces of information that's going to be essential if you want to take action. The first one is to log on to www.lesbrown.com. That's www.lesbrown.com. You will see the information for the training in Los Angeles on November 20th, and he'll be back again in Orlando the end of January 22nd to the 23rd. But please go on lesbrown.com for more information about that. As well, you will see the information about Dinner with Les. That's dinnerwithless.com. That's for November 30th in Topeka, Kansas. That's dinnerwithless.com. And, you know, I didn't tell Dr. Ruben West. I'm going to stay an extra day so we can have a private meetup with people who are really serious after the event. So that's going to be another bonus opportunity. So you want to just make a decision. And if it's anywhere within your means to make the sacrifice and do it, I just invite you to do what we did. We went and took the plunge into our lives now and into the work that we're doing with Mr. Brown. So I'm going to open up the call briefly, and then we will close out for the evening. So stand by, everyone, please.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Okay, there was a little background noise, so I put us in Q&A mode. Just press *6 if you want to share an action. All I want to hear tonight is action. What action are you going to take? How has this call changed your life and allowed you the ability to take the next step in living your goals and your dreams, your next step in executing your greatness?
Hi, this is Jabari from Philadelphia. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, Jabari from Philadelphia. How are you? That's my nephew's name. How you doing, Jabari?
I am doing wonderful. I'm blessed and highly favored, and just thanks in large part to Les Brown and this weekly call that I've been attending. I just wanted to testify this evening about something that really ties in nicely with tonight's topic. And I just wanted to say that sometimes you have to take a very small step to position yourself to take a large step. And what I mean by that is this, and I'll be brief, but my goal is to be a yacht designer, and that's a very ambitious goal to set for oneself. The yachts that I like cost multi-million dollars, and some of them cost well into the $1 billion. So some of my friends said, we're from West Philly. You never really been that much of a drawer. Like, how can you be a yacht designer? And because I've been listening to Les Brown and telling myself that it's possible, I positioned myself to achieve my goals by reading yacht magazines, and this paid off because this past weekend I attended the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, and I made exactly 14 connections in the yacht industry. So I met people who are editors from like yacht magazines to the senior account managers of yacht shipping companies, and I'm talking to them about my dream. And I just had to pinch myself because it's like 2 years ago, I thought it was a long shot to ever become a yacht designer. And I'm not there yet, but I am much closer than I ever thought was possible. So I just want to say that with everyone, and hopefully that inspires you.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yes, I just said it's not about saying what you do. It's about doing what you say. You said you wanted to do it. You took action. I love it.
Yeah. I love it. Absolutely, Jabari. Congratulations to you. You can design my yacht because I'm sure enough going to need one in a year or two.
I'll give you a very good place. Really good place. And one last thing, too, the confidence that I have right now is so strong that I actually introduced myself to this account manager as a future super yacht designer. That's how confident I am, and that confidence really comes from listening to Les Brown, really reading Matthew 7:7 3 times a day as he suggested, and now I really see myself accomplishing my goals. So I want to thank you all and just keep up the good work. God bless you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Jabari. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, our yacht designer, and you got to claim the thing that you want. Call those things that are not as if they are. Woo! All right, I'll go calm down. Who's next? Who wants to introduce themselves and tell us what action are you taking? Press star 6 to unmute your line.
Calvin Parks from St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Calvin. Nice to meet you from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where my sister's from. Welcome to the call tonight. What do you want to share?
Wow, man, this is unbelievable. I mean, the things you're saying tonight, I tell my kids and my family, to tune in. Hey, let's listen to this. This is unbelievable, man. I was just amazing to get to you. My words just don't even know what to say. But what you said tonight was real shaky, because I had a dream Sunday morning, and it was similar to what you were saying. It was saying that a dream and a vision, and he said without those, he said we're lost. And it was like some of the things were just coming to me. And I had listened to Les Brown that Friday on what he was saying, and similar, he was, I forgot, it was one of his YouTube, and it was one of his conference calls. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was real touching, and it touched me. So I just want you guys to know that I'm shocked to even get on, but I really admire you, and some of the things you were saying with the young lady at 13 years old, it just did something to me. It just shook me. And I'm into marketing business. I like, selling, marketing, and advertise different things, and that's my passion. That's what I really, really want to do in life. And it's been hard, and I've been struggling, but I do believe that, like Les Brown said, whatever it is, it's possible. And me and Les Brown have so much in common, into where we have some of the same backgrounds. We, failed in school a couple of times, and I said, man, I can connect with him so much, into it's just real common, man. But I really appreciate for you guys giving me a chance to get online tonight, and what you're saying was really lifting.
So you said you're from St. Louis?
Yes, sir.
And tell me your name one more time.
My name is Calvin Parks.
Calvin, you're only about 4 and a half hours or so from the event on the 30th.
I heard you guys saying it was going to be in Kansas City. Some part of Kansas, something like that.
Yeah, Topeka, Kansas. It's only 60 miles from Kansas City. That's a quick road trip for you.
Wow. This is like something they say just met, man. This is
go to dinnerwithles.com. Do that now, dinnerwithles.com, and get the information on that. As a matter of fact, anybody who's on this call right now, if you go do it now, you go there tonight. We're going to do a VIP session. If you go there tonight, we'll make a arrangement, because we're not talking about an arena. See, everybody thinks we're talking about a big arena. This is a hotel. This is up close and personal. This is dinner. You're talking about $65 to have a sit-down dinner with dessert, 4 dynamic speakers, the man himself, and you're talking about up close and personal. This is not you in an auditorium. This is going to be several hundred people in a room to change lives. You see what I'm saying? So you guys got to take action. This is going to be amazing.
This is okay, and you. I'm not great with the computer. You say what do you say? How do I find it now?
You can go. So if you go to lesbrown.com, it'll be on his website. But the event is dinnerwithles.com. Just www.dinnerwithles.com. Yeah, and then anybody who does it tonight, when you get your ticket, just message me. It'll give you the opportunity to message me once you get your ticket. And, we'll set up something special for you, because we're literally about changing lives that weekend.
Man, you guys, I feed it to my family, man. This is food to our soul, man.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate both of you guys.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate you sharing your voice, sharing it with your family. But now take action. Go on ahead to dinnerwithles.com or lesbrown.com. Let's make it happen for you. This is your time. You've been looking for something. You have so much in common with him. Now you get a chance to meet him.
Wow. We'll do, man.
Okay,
excellent.
Awesome. So we can take one more caller, because we have another call right after this that we have to jump on. So if you would like to share your action, people who are taking action and getting the results, or what you're going to do as a result of this call tonight, pushing you to make it happen. This is your time. This is your space. Let's not let it jump to someone else, because when we get opportunities and we don't seize it, then it moves on to the person who's ready. So if you're ready, let's hear your voice tonight. Star 6.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Harold. Oh, sorry, ladies first.
Good evening. My name is Amy Taylor.
Hey, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, Amy and Harold. So go ahead, Amy, and then Harold.
Okay. Stacey, I was at the Playtime is Over conference this weekend, and you were phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And I am the young lady. You were walking down the hall, and I said, beast mode, and you turned around and said, oh, my goodness, we have to get a selfie.
Yes.
And yes, and I never came to you to get the selfie. But I wanted to tell you that this story about that 13-year-old, that inspired me because she stepped up and stepped out. But I did not step up and step out because I said, well, she's too busy. I'm not going to go to her. Although you said, come and get that selfie with me, I didn't step out. So my goal is to step out more. And last year I had went to another conference, and the young lady, it's a lady who owns a jewelry company, Tracy Lynn, and she said to me, she said, you know, one of your problems is you need to step out more. You need your voice to be heard. She said, and you're too afraid, but you need to get over that. So I just want to tell you that story you shared, that truly inspired me, because, again, if that 13-year-old could step up and step out, then that's my goal. I need to step up and step out more and not be afraid. And because, and so I'm just so thankful for you and for this chance to speak up. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are welcome, and it was a pleasure meeting you. I was wondering where you went, but now we're going to have to connect again so you can step up. And Dr. Tracy Lynn is a dear friend of mine, and she told you that's a prophetic word, so you need to move with that. I'm so glad you are. Let's stay connected. Inbox me on Facebook. I want to have a conversation with you.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good night. Thank you.
You too, and thank you. And my friend Harold, waiting patiently.
Yeah. Yes. Good evening, all. Harold Balson from New York City, and I'll be brief, but it's a twofold in the action column. This evening, I spoke with someone in regards to enhancing.
Harold, we lost you.
That he
Hello?
just
I think we lost him.
Maybe he dropped off. But let me just say, Stacey, that anyone, the gentleman earlier said he was a little troubled with the computer, no problem. I just want to let anyone know if they would like to message me on Facebook, I'll be glad to help them, or a member from my team can help them. And it's just Ruben West, RUBENWEST. You can just friend me, message me, and I'll be glad to help you. But we really want to help you guys get results. And we'd love to meet you in person. You know, it's great to put faces with names and help you to go to the next level. So I'm excited, Stacey. I'm excited. And I know you are. I can hear it in your voice.
What? I can't wait to get down and touch down in Kansas. Y'all don't know what you're in for in Topeka. I've been eating hot peppers on a fork. I'm on a mission to finish this year strong and bring as many people with me as possible. I'm honored to be able to work with you, my brother. You are beyond amazing. Your work ethic, your discipline, your execution, and your delivery is unparalleled. So I am just over the moon excited to do what we do together, to be able to be mentored and trained by Mr. Brown, for him to have given us the opportunity to do what we do on the team, to now be able to be master trainers in this space and really occupy part of his legacy, what he's building, the work that he's done for 30 years. He's not looking to play around with folks who are dilly-dallying on the side of the road, but those who are getting in and driving the car to the next best version of themselves. So with that said, I want to thank all of you for being on tonight. I want to thank you for being a part of this conversation. We hope that it is poured into your spirit. We pray that you take action on your goals and your dreams, because we want you to live your best life. Les Brown has told you over and over again, there's greatness inside of you. Now it's your job to let the world see just how great you are. My name is Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant. This is Dr. Ruben West. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. As our mentor, Mr. Brown, would say, have an awesome week. Visit lesbrown.com, brown.les on Facebook, and Dinner with Les if you want to see us in Topeka, Kansas live. Bye-bye, everyone, and happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. To you, Ruben, who has served our country so well. Thank you for your service and your talent to our country. And all of our veterans who are listening, we appreciate and we love you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.